Hi folks, it's Todd Dills here with the week's news from Overdrive, the voice of the American trucker. Lawmakers in Washington are dealing with the same independent contractor issue that has been tied up in California courts. At stake for trucking is the ability of leased owner-operators to continue hauling freight for larger motor carriers. The U.S. House of Representatives passed a bill that would follow in the footsteps of California's AB 5, which passed in 2019, codifying a court decision. The House bill is called the Protecting the Right to Organize Act of 2021. It would institute the so-called ABC test for determining whether a business can contract work to an independent contractor. Trucking groups say the leased owner-operator model would be dashed by the ABC test. It would force truck owners into wholly new arrangements with their motor carriers or into business as carriers with their own authority. The PRO Act faces a steep climb in the evenly divided U.S. Senate, where it is unlikely to pass. In other news of legislation facing high political hurdles, a bill introduced in the Oregon House of Representatives would ban the sale of petroleum-derived diesel fuel by 2028. If passed, the statewide ban would be phased in over years, beginning in 2024. The Oregon Trucking Association said the bill is an effort to push renewable diesel fuel. On such a short timeline, though, it would be very difficult to achieve. Speaking of diesel, prices at the pump were sitting at a national average of $3.14 for a gallon, the highest national average in nearly 2 years. The last time fuel prices were at that level was the week ending May 27, 2019, when fuel was about $3.15 per gallon. Retail diesel prices across the U.S. have skyrocketed since the beginning of February, rising 40.5 cents a gallon since the week ending February 8th, according to the Department of Energy. Fuel prices have now increased for 18 consecutive weeks, rising 77 cents since the beginning of November. The latest hikes are a result of rising crude prices, strong demand for distillates across the board, and the mid-February winter storms that shut down refineries in Texas, the biggest piece of refining capacity in the nation. A major Midwest open-deck hauler is raising pay for drivers in 10 northeastern states where freight demand is high. Des Moines, Iowa-based TMC Transportation will boost pay for company drivers living in Connecticut, Delaware, Massachusetts, Maryland, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, and Vermont. TMC said all drivers living in those states are eligible to receive a minimum of 30% of each load. Drivers in Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan received the incentive in December. Digital freight broker LoadSmart added flatbed freight to its offerings. The company said the Home Depot has recently begun pushing flatbed freight to LoadSmart's system. Flatbed loads join existing dry van and reefer freight, as well as less than truckload and containers available via LoadSmart's freight matching platform. Loads are available with dynamic pricing and instant booking. Speed limiting technology is back in the news, once again putting the American Trucking Associations at odds with operators. ATA, representing fleets, signaled its reconsidered support for a 2019 bill that would have required limiters. In a letter to DOT Secretary Pete Buttigieg, ATA and supporting organizations called for all new commercial trucks to be equipped with speed limiters. ATA also wants DOT to require use of existing speed limiting technology already installed on trucks manufactured after 1992. The 2019 bill called for maximum speeds to be set at 65 miles per hour, or 70 miles per hour if certain safety technologies were in use, such as adaptive cruise control and an automatic emergency braking system. The Owner-Operator Independent Drivers Association sent its own letter to the Secretary to oppose speed limiters. OOIDA says it opposes any separate nationwide speed limit for trucks, citing safety effects and added costs, not only of installation but also maintenance when the systems fail. The annual Road Check Inspection Blitz, set for May 4th through the 6th, will focus in part on lighting equipment. It's not uncommon for a highway patrol officer or inspector at a scale house to point to most any light out on your truck as a kind of low-hanging fruit in the inspection selection process. A light out is an obvious indicator of a violation, and one of the many triggers that could cause a road trooper or a way station inspector to make the move toward a wider inspection. Given road checks, stepped-up enforcement efforts occur mostly at scale houses in the daytime, the selection aspect of the lights-out trigger might not be the chief concern around functioning bulbs and inspections come the first week of May, but it's never bad policy for an owner to keep tabs of what's shining and what's not. Many states where lights violations account for the largest shares of written infractions are also active in overall vehicle inspections. That's certainly true in the southeast I-10 corridor between Florida and Texas. Those two states occupy the number 1 and 2 spots, respectively, for lights infractions. Number 3 and 4, Alabama and Mississippi, on the lights list, are likewise ranked in the top 15 for maintenance overall. Access more enforcement-related coverage via overdriveonline.com.